Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
A hostage situation on Detroit's west side now in its 20th hour. The night cam is on the scene. Jason.
A local pastor getting all sorts of blowback tonight after a vulgar email he sent to a journalist. We'll tell you what he should have done before hitting send.
Okay, Jason, but we begin with a big glitch that the ballot sent to Michigan's military and overseas voters. The Secretary of State believes 400 of those incorrect ballots were printed today.
They have the wrong vice presidential candidate listed under Donald Trump's name. Let's get right to Mara McDonald with more on what Benson's office has to say about it tonight. Mara.
Well, Devin, tonight they're saying that this is a temporary error. That's number one. Number two, if any of these misprinted ballots do get voted and do get returned, there is a workaround. Take a close look at this ballot headed to Michigan's overseas and military personnel. Under Donald Trump's name is not Mike Pence, but Jeremy Cohen. Who is Jeremy Cohen, I hear you asking? Well, he actually goes by his nickname, which is Spike, and he's the vice presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party. How do Michigan ballots get printed with this kind of an error? Per Jocelyn Benson's office, quote, there was a temporary error in the QVF data that caused some ballots downloaded today to display incorrect ballot information when clerks downloaded the QVF ballot sent to military and overseas voters. QVF stands for the Qualified Voter File, which the Secretary of State maintains. The Board of Elections reached out to all local clerks and told them to reissue the ballot and tell the voter to ignore the previous one. So what happens if someone votes on a misprinted ballot anyway? Tonight, the Secretary of State says it will still count. Back here live. So how does it count? What is the workaround? According to the Secretary of State, if one of those misprinted ballots does make its way back here, it will then have the local clerk reissue the ballot with a Trump-Pence standard on it. So there's a workaround. Let's just hope we have no more temporary errors. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
Unbelievable. Okay, Mara, thank you. Now to breaking news on Detroit's west side. A standoff involving a triple murder suspect and one hostage is now in its 20th hour. It started early this morning on Iliad Street near Telegraph and Finkel. Tonight, that neighborhood remains shut down. Tim Pamplin is on the scene with a night cam tonight. We know one hostage was released earlier tonight. Has there been any change on the scene there?
Not really, Kim. What's happening is it's a negotiation and a waiting out game situation here tonight. The situation developing just beyond this warehouse here, just a block away. The situation is unfolding. Dearborn SWAT team now arriving on the scene. They're helping out Detroit, who have now been at this, like we say, for 20 hours. It all started at 2:30 this morning with an attempted traffic stop in Redford. That's when the man takes off. Earlier, he took to Facebook.
They got me out here. The cops got me surrounded. I'm going to prison. Rest of my life, it's over with. The house is surrounded.
That's when this barricaded gunman picks up his rifle, tells police to come and get him. He's wanted for questioning in a triple homicide on Helen Street earlier in the summer. Now, as you say, he had two hostages. One has been released. There is still a man inside. That man's father is on the scene here, getting very upset that his son has yet to be released. There he is yelling at someone who was trying to negotiate with the barricaded gunman. Now there is the female. She was released earlier this afternoon. Police are talking to her. But again, going on 20 hours, the standoff continues as backup SWAT team members take up position. So back out here live, you're looking at the command post down there. Multiple agencies in this situation. Hopefully it will resolve itself peacefully. I just can't imagine being that father knowing that your son is a block away and there's absolutely nothing you can do to help him out. That is the scene. We're going to stay on the situation, bring updates as warranted. Back to you guys in the studio.
You got it, Tim. We'll have you standing by. Other news tonight, a pastor at a church in Macomb facing a lot of online backlash over an email he sent. This
national journalist he sent it to immediately posted to her Twitter account. Jason Colthorpe spoke to that pastor this evening. And so, Jason, does he regret sending the email?
He does regret it, Kim, and Pastor Dave Munns was responding to something he mistakenly thought Sarah Jeong had written in the New York Times, but that was mistake number 2. His first mistake was using a lot of hateful language in that email, which Jeong posted to her Twitter, and her 110,000 followers immediately started emailing and calling, and have been doing so, to his church for the last 7 hours. At 4:08 today, journalist Sarah Jeong tweeted, "I pretty much never do this, but this guy is a pastor."
So I just was at my limit.
What Jeong was doing was posting an email she got from Pastor Dave Munns of the Christian Life Church in Macomb, which reads, "How about if we took all the little bitter Asian women and had a lottery and cut their, like the Muslims do? Not a very classy position, is it? Neither is your trashy little bitter personality towards white men. Only in a world where journalism is controlled by brain-dead liberals do you people even have jobs."
Should I have responded? Probably not. But in light of the summer that we've had, all that's going on, I just caved.
Munns was responding to this meme he was sent with a quote attributed to the former member of the New York Times editorial board, saying there should be a castration lottery for white men.
My response looks terrible, but what I responded to was simply reversed of exactly what she posted towards white men, and I just reversed it and said, how would you feel?
But it turns out that quote is fake. The meme is one of several of Jeong that were debunked by the internet 2 years ago and confirmed to me by her this evening. The entire ordeal is something Munns plans to discuss with his congregation on Sunday.
I'll confront it. I'll bring it right up and first apologize to them for a weak moment of responding to something I should have just let, like the other million of them that have come, just go down the tubes.
Now, it wasn't until after our interview that I double confirmed that this was a fake quote from a couple years ago. And when I told Munns about that, he said he will also apologize to Jeong. However, he said it's going to have to be a minute until he restarts his email, which he suspended tonight because of all the blowback he's gotten. And at last check, that tweet and thread had 33,000 likes and more than 9,000 retweets. So he'll be dealing with this for quite a while. Reporting live, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Okay, Jason, thank you.
Tomorrow afternoon, Governor Whitmer will be updating the state's response to the coronavirus crisis.
Governor Whitmer will be giving a briefing at 2:30. You can watch it live right here on Local 4 and our website, clickondetroit.com. The briefing comes as the state reported 571 new cases over the past 24 hours, with 11 more Michiganders dead from the virus. Other headlines: a Utica high school football team has canceled its first game of the season after a player was exposed to the virus outside of school. The district says the team will be ready to play next Friday. And in college football, the University of Wisconsin chancellor says Big Ten football is on hold right now until the conference gets more answers to questions about testing and tracing. We'll have the latest on talks to get the Big Ten season started coming up in sports. Meanwhile, students in Troy have been learning remotely since the start of the school year.
Tonight, a group of parents and students gathered outside tonight's school board meeting, pleading for in-person instruction.
We need to be in school. I do believe, as a former classroom teacher, face-to-face is pretty much essential at this point.
Tonight's school board meeting discussed a transition to a hybrid learning model, but no firm date for when that could happen.
A Michigan father notoriously linked to his children's disappearances is denied parole. John Skelton is currently doing time for the unlawful imprisonment of his sons Alexander, Andrew, and Tanner. The boys went missing the day after Thanksgiving in 2010. Skelton claims he gave them to an underground group, but their mother believes they're dead. Skelton won't be eligible for parole for another 2 years. In St. Clair County, the stepfather of an 11-year-old boy killed while hunting will face a judge tomorrow. The stepfather is charged with several felonies, including involuntary manslaughter. Police say he thought he was shooting at a deer at a youth hunting event over the weekend in Clay Township when a round hit the boy. The 40-year-old will be arraigned tomorrow at 1.
Police are looking for a man accused of stealing a shuttle bus in Romulus and then abandoning it in East Detroit the next day. We've got photos from the shuttle's internal camera. It was stolen from the Four Point Sheraton Hotel near the airport. Bus has been recovered since near Chandler Park, but police are asking anyone who can identify this man to speak up.
Still ahead, a deadly mosquito virus puts a Michigan man in a coma.
His heart went into AFib, and we didn't know what was wrong.
Now his wife speaking out about the virus and the warning signs she says she missed. Andrew's in for Ben tonight. Andrew.
Well, Kimberly and Devin, a beautiful night shaping up. We had some smoky sunshine earlier, but we still made it up above 70 degrees. The high today, 71. Temperatures tomorrow, even higher. More on that and an update on Hurricane Sally next.
All right, Andrew, but first we've got dramatic video from inside a local gas station. You'll see what happened moments after someone lit a package of fireworks.